You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. This show is for biologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
Hey, everybody. Wait, we're doing it.
Okay.
You just interrupted me from doing it.
Okay.
Can I shall redo it now?
No, you just do it.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Stuart Pedasso Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Melissa.
I'm Carrie.
Carrie's with us.
Hey, Carrie. I haven't seen Carrie since COVID times. So it's really
COVID.
It is so nice to see you again.
I would love to say that Carrie's been on previous shows, but because I had to take them all down, they don't exist.
Right.
Ooh, so I'm a virgin again?
They do exist. Actually, they'll get posted.
Eventually, we'll see them again.
At one point or another on our Patreon, and right now there's just one, I believe. The last one, the one that got me fired from my job. And you can laugh out loud. It's all good.
I mean, we've been. I mean, what are you gonna do? You might as well.
I mean, I have a new job now, so it's all good.
So it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's all good. But we're not talking about it because I don't want to get fired again.
Yeah, let's. I'm worried about what I'm saying.
But I did. It's been weird because it's in the middle of vacation, the holiday vacation. So I'm being onboarded at a distance.
Oh, wow.
Like all the paperwork was sent to me by email, but they don't want me to send it back in email because like there's social security numbers and all that jazz. So
Right.
I had to drive out there yesterday and drop it all off. And
So will you be starting on Tuesday?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm starting on January 3rd. And
That's pretty exciting.
so I asked, like, so how do I do the ID and stuff? So I get a call today. I'll tell the story. I wasn't planning on this. So I get a call today from Human Resources about this new job, and she asked me about the paperwork. Yeah, it's done. I dropped it off. It's all good. And she goes, and did you give us your picture? Picture? Would a picture of what? I thought maybe the license and social security card. All they do to prove you're a citizen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, I gave a copy of the license and social security card. She goes, no, a picture of you for your ID. I was like, I'm taking the picture?
Oh, wow.
Right.
Dang.
That's what I'm saying. She goes, yeah, it'll make it go much faster.
Did you do the
Oh my God! Yeah, did you do peace sign? Did you duck face? Yeah, babe.
Okay, I need
dare
this
you.
job. Okay,
I dare you.
I
We're going to have to
need
make him
this
one.
job.
I know.
On the other side, he can flip it over and look every once
Look,
in a
if
while.
it's for the yearbook or something, that's fine.
We'll do duck face peace sign for your book.
If I get tenure, then maybe I will, for something. But in the meantime, I need this job.
Okay, so what did you wear for your picture?
Oh, so when she called me for this, I was literally on my way out the door to go to the gym. So I was wearing gym stuff.
Gym things.
And so I hung up with her, and I had to go back, and I just put on a decent shirt, and then I came here into the office, and I took out all those paper magazine-y stuff, but I kept the books, and
Because it makes you look smart.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I did make sure I didn't have any like books of the sexy or anything, because I didn't need, like.
Yeah. Oh,
Sex
yeah.
101,
Yeah.
It turns out the books, like only like an inch of the books were in it.
But I would have still done the same thing just to be sure.
Well, because when I did videos for my last city council run, I did them from here with books in the back to make me look smart, and I did make sure
That there was no sexy
that
there.
there was no sexy. Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with sexy. We love sexy.
No,
just
no,
not for the video.
Right.
I might have to go through your books here. Some look interesting.
Oh, anytime.
Okay.
I've borrowed some books from Dave.
Yeah.
Actually, one book I borrowed from you I thought was amazing. One of the books I borrowed from you.
Never mind. Yeah, I might want to slow down on the wine. I'm like, you have Paradise Lost. That's not who wrote that. It's Paradise Lot.
Yeah, it's a different book.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I know.
It's not even close.
Oh no, is our trim bad?
You're fine. Again, if there's any problems, I'll fix it in post. It's all good.
Fix it in post. Sounds fancy.
All right. Actually, it might be me. I might be having the problem. But anyway,
You're trim.
So I sit there, and it's the worst. And because like every time I look like I'm smiling, and this really looks like my mugshot. Mm-hmm. And I didn't care. Because when you have an ID, the picture's like.
I mean, it's just a little thing. All they're going to do is look at it quickly to make sure. Oh, like, yeah, that's you.
And honestly,
And probably probably very few people are even going to really look at it.
And I never wear my ID. I always just keep it in my pocket because I don't wear jewelry. I don't wear rings. I just don't like shit hanging off me. So no one's gonna see it.
I do wear so I have an ID. This is the first job I've ever had an ID for. I've never had one before, but now I do. And I would say the majority of the people who work at the mag do wear their IDs, but I've almost lost mine twice now. I have it just falling. I mean, even though I put glue on it, for some reason the ID still fell off, and I'm like, no, because if I have to go, it costs me money, and it was a pain in the ass to get it in the first place. So I'm like, nope. So no, I don't wear it.
Well, for you, I would think it's helpful because you're staff, though. If someone's looking for help in the store.
Yeah, but I'm usually pretty obviously I think I look pretty obvious that I'm staff.
You look like a merchant. You look like a merchant.
But I mean, yeah, I think most of the time I'm behind the counter anyway, or I'm in the back room. So most people are going to know I'm staff anyway at this point. But no, the only reason I have to have it is because there's certain rooms and doors and things I have to get into. So that's the only reason.
Swipe, right?
Yeah, I need it. Yeah, like when I put the money away at the end of the night, I have to be able to get into the place where the money goes. So,
well, we have to swipe for every room we go into because they have to know who's going in and out. And it has to be visible at shoulder length in your name. And if it's if you walk by somebody, you have to twist it for them to make sure that we all have it visible, showing.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't get that job.
Oh, no. I'm in the hospital now. Yeah,
oh, okay.
That's why.
Oh, I'm glad
but I guess I can understand that. But all right, you know what? I understand that too, though.
For privacy, yeah, because they need to know who's coming in, who's going out. Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. I'm glad that job I had gotten was taken away from me. All right, we won't talk about that here.
How's the drive this time, though? Is it better?
So my previous job, the drive was 45 minutes. This is 30. And
better.
There's no tolls on
better.
New York State Thruway.
That's a huge. It adds up quick.
I talked to during my interview at the end of the interview, talking to the principal. I kind of mentioned that because she lives in the Rochester area as well, and she was like, actually, I've had a job on the Thruway, and actually, this drive is better because I thought that where this other road is, there'd be more snow because it's closer to a lake. And she said it's not as bad. So I'm fine, whatever. I listen to podcasts and all that shit anyway. So.
Right. As long as it's an okay drive, it's, That's why I don't mind going to Buffalo. I was going to Buffalo once a week for a while there. And it's nice because it's, you just hop on and hop right off. It's an easy drive.
Yeah. So it's all good. So
I live literally less than 2 miles from where I work.
That is true.
It's kind of nice. Yeah. I mean, I can really walk to work.
That would be awesome.
I have walked to work. I can walk to work. In the
awesome.
nice weather, it's nice. It's actually a nice walk.
I don't think I've ever been at a place where I could walk to work.
Well, I mean, at one point when I worked at Park Lee, I worked literally
around the corner.
Where I live
Took me
now,
like 4 minutes to walk there. I think
I could have walked to Charlotte when I worked there, but no longer work there.
So, real quick, I just have a couple of housekeeping things I got to let folks know about. Well, I don't have to, but I think you should know about them. So we have, if you go to stuartbordesco.com, there's been some maneuvering. There's been some maneuvers and things have been switched around a little bit. So actually, I think to make it a little more user-friendly. And we are now affiliates of 2 more
I saw one of them.
businesses that you should check out. And one of them is awesome. And now, actually, I've been using this place for a while and didn't think that we would become an affiliate of them. And we got an email saying, hey, you should become an affiliate of us.
You're like, oh, okay.
It was a mass email. It wasn't like just
right,
me.
but nice.
And I was like, well, yeah, I got the thing. So Pepper Joe's, if you like anything hot and or spicy, they do seeds and plants, but they also do just straight like hot sauces and stuff. So totally check their stuff out. They're a really cool company and they do some amazing stuff. I believe I got the seeds from the Chiltepin plant that I still have, the Mexican pepper plant that I got no business growing up north. And then one that just got added yesterday was something called Golden Root. And if you're into the turmeric,
I was going to say, I know that. I'm supposed to eat that.
Oh, but there's
it's so good for you, isn't it? Like digestion, inflammation, digestion.
They have their own special 10 herbs and spices or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know whatever it's in it. It's turmeric and other things. There's a sweeter one, I assume, that has sugar in it, and then there's a spicy one that has not sugar in it. And you can use it to make drinks with it, but they also have stuff on there like you can make turmeric pancakes, and you can use it for shit like that. So we are an affiliate of Golden Root, and that's all at stuartburdasco.com. You can check that out. And now I get to bitch about somebody.
Go ahead.
Because last week, from our conversation, Melyssa, we were talking, and we started talking about like holiday shopping, and maybe, instead of going to like big box stores, if you shopping local, or if you got to do online, maybe something Etsy.
Look for a local Etsy. Look for somebody. Yeah, local Etsy.
So I was like, you know what? Why don't I check out? Maybe we could become an affiliate of Etsy. And so I go and I look to Etsy and I look, and then I see this. It was really confusing on who could become an affiliate of Etsy. So I sent them an email, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to have an Etsy store. That's totally cool." So I jumped through numerous hoops. In fact, these hoops is what got us to become an affiliate of Golden Root. And I applied for the Stuart Burdasso Show to be an affiliate of Etsy, and they turned us down. And they said that they have high standards and that we did not meet their standards. And I'm like, motherfuckers, you can buy dildos on Etsy. Fuck you. How are we not meeting your standards? I can go get a butt plug on Etsy.
Oh, absolutely.
Kiss my ass.
I've seen some things on the Etsy, some kind of like risque things that I know wouldn't really be okay if you posted them, let's say, on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's your high. I guess apparently our butt plug stuff is not as fancy as theirs. I don't know what that means.
They have better butt plugs than we do. Well, I highly doubt that.
So the stores on Etsy are individually owned, but this is the company that runs the platform. So whatever fucking...
Okay, I thought Etsy was individual people that just...
Yeah, but someone's got to run the platform, the servers, and, and if I'm assuming if you have a store on Etsy, they get a cut.
Right. They do.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's that. Those are the people. The people that get the cut are the ones that said that we weren't fancy enough for them. So I don't want to say fuck Etsy stores, but fuck Etsy.
We can say fuck Etsy, but some of the people
Mr. Etsy.
Yeah, but some of the people who might be on there.
Etsy.
I was going to say, that's who you want to...
That's we don't like that.
The Elon Musk of Etsy. Fuck.
But like I have friends, like I have a few friends that have Etsy stores that they sell from, and
Magnus does.
Magnus does.
I know.
Sabra does.
I know. I was going to say Rags, but it's not what he's going by now.
Oh, I'm not even sure. What do you mean?
One who was doing, now he had Washburn Farms.
Oh, yeah, Watchman Farms.
He had an Etsy store, but I don't think he really did anything with it.
Oh, okay.
So he started, because remember the last time he was on,
I
he was talking about that, selling his hot peppers.
His hot peppers and stuff on
like
Etsy.
that on Etsy, and I think he just kind of gave up on it, but anyway.
But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of good people and people we know that have Etsy stores.
Ignore Etsy, because it is, and it's just those fuckers are going to get a cut, and we're not fancy enough for them, so.
Fuck them, whatever on that, whatever. Get off my lawn, Etsy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what, Etsy, you're not cool enough for my lawn either.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's right. It's for that. I'm not opening my store. My store that sells fancy, glittery butt things. Etsy.
No, but whoever came up with putting labels on these candles is a money maker. Do you know how much they charge for these teeny little... there's one
on candles. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like, what candles? Tell me about the candle.
Because I'm the person that actually buys them. Okay. So I'm the total sucker.
I love candles.
Okay, you're pulling an Eve thing. You had a conversation in your head and you didn't clue us in on it. So.
Oh shoot! Was I supposed to let you know that ahead of time?
Yeah,
gosh, darn it!
Oh well.
Kind of doing like a Harry Carey thing.
Well, I was wondering, here we go. Like this, the Coolant.
Oh yeah, I know that company.
Like wine breath. And
I know that
conversation.
That's I actually know who that.
Because we're doing audio.
Yeah, so there's a company. It's called Whiskey River, the Whiskey River company, and actually Park Lee carried them, so I know exactly what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a company, and they have really funny labels on their candles.
But
hilarious.
There's tons of people that do it now, off-brand, I guess you could say. Yeah. But what a great, because they charge like $20 for a candle. It must cost maybe $1 to make.
Yeah, I mean it's wax and fragrance. I mean that's.
It smells like my vagina candle.
Well, introvert smells like innocently ignoring everyone. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I can tell you, I mean, I like their. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. I love the company. And when I worked at Park Lee, we sold a ton of it, and I loved our rep for that company too, because she was a hoot, and she's one of those people I do miss now that I don't work there anymore. But the candles themselves, they're not that great.
Oh no, they're not. You pay for the
label.
They're
not that great. They're not that great.
For the
they're
joke.
they're not very natural. They're not that great.
Nope.
No, not great.
Probably made with whale
gotten,
blubber.
Yeah, I've gotten.
Yeah, no, those would be expensive.
I actually spent a lot of money on one that said "smells like a Bills win" for somebody who's a huge Bills, and they're like, it doesn't even keep burning.
Oh no!
So I clearly paid for the label they stuck on it. That's it.
You did. You sure did.
Yep. So what a brilliant whoever ripped off these ideas. Mm-hmm.
So
a whole Trump move. There's a Trump move right there.
Totally.
Come on. So I was going to ask you about your photo. How did it turn out?
Oh, it was a mugshot. It looks like horrible.
Okay,
but I kind of did it on purpose.
I recently had to go through getting a photo done, but for a whole different reason.
Well, I'm going to ask you your reason in a second, but all I'm saying is I am like the worst selfie taker ever.
No, you're not. I was just gonna say,
you're like, no, I got you beat.
So, I did. So I cleared that, and then I was taking those magazines and books that are on that shelf, and I was making a tower so that I could put the phone on it, so it would be relatively eye level. Right. And I still am I smiling? And I was like, I don't feel like smiling.
It's harder than it looks. It's hard to get it set just right, and then to be not looking in the wrong spot, and then how do you push the button?
I set the timer, but yeah.
Oh, you can do that.
Carrie.
Yes, Carrie.
Yes, Carrie. There's a timer. Come on, Grandma. Go with it.
Good thing I'm a teacher, huh?
Yeah, you can ask the kids.
Yeah, the kids know all about
Oh my gosh,
that.
the kids teach me so much stuff.
No, they
Poor
know
Dominic,
all that stuff.
That's all I have to say. That poor kid has no shot. No shot. He just started 9th grade.
So what does that mean?
That means that I can ask all of these high school kids all the cheats and the tricks going around.
Oh, I see. Oh.
So you want me to give a good report for you? Tell me something I should be looking for on this video game or what. They did clue me into what to check on his phone. Because there's privacy. There's no way they can ever know who everybody is. I can never. So they know they can say anything to me. It can never come back to them. So they're like, hey, does he have this account? Does he have this? I'm like looking at his phone. Hey. So yeah, those are what do you call those? Benefits? Benefits of my job.
The kids.
Yeah. So poor Dominic can't get away with anything. And I'm a teacher, so he can't even fail.
Does he want to get away with things?
Oh yeah.
Oh, does he?
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't every kid?
I was going to say he is a normal kid. In fact, it is a good life lesson to learn how to get away with stuff.
That's true. No, I agree.
I had somebody.
No, it
we
is
were
true.
just at this funeral thing, and I had somebody trying to give Dominic and his brother, who's 14 and now 16, buy him a drink. And I'm like, you can't out in the open. First of all, they hadn't eaten. And I'm like, absolutely stop sipping on these drinks. Get food. Trust me, get food. I'm not, And finally, I had to pull the person over and said, you are robbing these kids of the skill of learning how to steal a drink, how to get around. You give them the drink, they're going to get drunk, and it's not going to be fun anymore. Like, you're robbing them of the experience.
So
totally remember doing that with my cousins.
You have to.
Stealing drinks at the family function.
And you have to go slow enough to not get
my son told me about him doing it at one of our family functions too. I was like, I didn't even know. I know I couldn't even be mad at him.
I found out because of my kids snuck it. So that's how now I'm the next generation. I've learned, and so Dominic has a little bit of good and bad going on there.
Well, and so like my dumbass nephew and my dumbass cousin who they're relatively the same age, and this was at a family thing out in Arizona at the parents at my father's place, and no one really cared anyway, but there would have been a few people that said, hey, stop taking booze. Now, these guys weren't smart and just took one thing. They literally took a glass and mixed like 17 different things in one.
They did it all wrong.
Oh, they totally did it all wrong.
That's all wrong. No. You just got to take the sips while you have the moment.
And it's a skill to learn.
No, but not even that. I mean, even if they had a full glass of something, probably wouldn't have been a bit. They were dumbass and mixed so many things into one glass. Right. Nobody but they were being cool because they were taking booze. Dumbasses.
Did they actually drink it?
I don't know how much, but something.
Oh my God. The things I got, how I got caught, man. Oh, man. I learned I learned how to get away with a lot of stuff by sneaking booze.
Oh yeah, and my sister would get caught all the time, and she would get upset. Yeah, how come you never get caught? Because I don't come home, dumbass.
But what but it taught me to put all my alcohol in the freezer because you can't cut it with water because that freezes. So all of my hard liquor was in the freezer for my poor kid especially my son, who was a bit of an issue with being naughty.
Well, back in our
but that's because
day,
I learned that because that's how I got away with drinking. Like, one time it was almost all water, and she, my mother.
Yeah.
Come on, it took her forever to figure it out.
Oh God, okay. I love your mother, but yeah, okay.
We made whiskey look just right with water and Coke just to make it colored just because she didn't drink it. So if it was in there, she didn't know.
Yeah, your mom was not much of a drinker, right?
No, not at all.
That's why she probably didn't know.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Why she didn't even know.
And then she tried making peppermint schnapps one year.
Of course she did. Your mother. God,
That's
of course
cute.
she did. So, like, but especially our age, I don't know about you, because you didn't live in the city, really.
Yeah,
In your drinking years? Your teenage drinking years?
off of Otis Street.
Oh, definitely in the city.
Oh, okay, definitely. So I'm sorry. I'm
I used to be able to get it. We used to go to the loading docks.
That's what I'm saying. There were places. I mean,
Miller ponies. Come on,
they were way less. Oh no, even liquor stores. They were way less strict.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if I couldn't get it on my own, then I would just go to Dead Uncle Glenn.
Yeah, he would always help you out, wouldn't he?
Well, he would drink with us, so that wasn't a big deal.
See, we did have one mom that did, and she's the one that used to get us the Miller ponies. But we would always be able to get pink champagne or Lowenbrow.
Oh my God!
Oh my, yeah. Oh my, both of those. I got stories.
Oh my God! I haven't even heard that in years.
Pink champagne. There's a white champagne. That's for fancy times.
My mom used to like champagne.
Oh my God.
That's when you know you're from the hood.
She doesn't really.
That's the fancy stuff.
That's hilarious.
No, I got a reference, but I had the one worst. Oh, cold duck.
Oh, my mom liked cold duck too.
Well, Boone's Farm was also pretty good.
Oh man.
But that was.
What the hell is cold duck actually?
Wait, what is cold? Wait a minute. I'm thinking.
Is that wine? Was that like a early wine cooler ish?
Not a cooler, but it was it
similar
was
to Boone's
nasty.
Farm.
Yeah, it was a nasty. Mad Dog
Malted
2020.
something.
Yeah, my mom totally. I mean, my mom wasn't much of a drinker, but when she did, like, she actually liked cold duck. I remember us having it in the refrigerator. I don't. Is that where you're? I don't know.
I don't know. I assume so.
I think it was in our refrigerator, but I mean, my mom wasn't a big drinker, like I said. But man, there was the stuff that was there. I'm like, I think about it now. I'm like, I wouldn't even drink that.
Oh my God, the things I did drink. Well, usually you would go to friends' grandparents' houses, and then you'd raid their liquor cabinet. There's things that should have never been, like whiskey. I've tasted so many different liquors. Don't like any of them, but I was willing to drink them. You can, with a chaser, you can drink anything.
Oh, especially if you go to like the really old, like
slow
old
gin.
school.
You can get that down if you need to. Yup. When you're desperate.
Damn.
You got to remember, when I was in 9th grade, when
my
did you start
auntie drinks
drinking?
it.
Yeah. Well, when you go to the open, they're not going to miss it.
I didn't really start drinking, like actually drinking, until like my senior year.
Oh, oops.
Yeah. I'm not
my
judging.
first time
I'm not
getting-
even judging
getting-
at all.
My first time getting drunk, which set me on this path, probably set me on the path to this show, was my dad's wedding.
The first time I ever got drunk was
His second wedding, not his first, obviously.
Wait a minute. So what grade?
I was like 13-ish.
Okay. All right. I
Oh,
don't
that's
feel
about
so
the
bad
same
then.
as me then. I think the
You
first
said
time.
senior.
Yeah, you
No,
said
that's when I
senior.
drank like on the regular.
Oh, okay.
The first time I actually got drunk, I was in 8th grade.
Oh, okay. That makes me
Yeah.
feel, I never drank on the regular. I couldn't afford
But I
it.
drank that. I drink that way. I mean, I got drunk in 8th
That's what your
grade.
definition of the regular
It sucked.
is, but-
I didn't really drink for a long time after that because it sucked. And my parents also, my dad would sometimes like let us have like a little bit of wine with dinner and stuff once in a while if we had wine. So I don't know. I guess so. Alcohol wasn't like too big of a taboo in my family. So maybe that's why I didn't really care that much.
What about mine? I remember when my mother would have parties, that's when my friends would always come over the next morning, bright and early. We'd raid the ashtrays
That's awesome.
for all the roaches.
Yep.
Probably still do that.
Then and I remember one time, oh my God, one of my friends, she had a birthday party. Whatever.
Whatever.
She had a birthday party and they got her a bag of weed. And one of my friends came over to the house, and must have been, so he pocketed it. And we have at the end of our street, off of Otis Street, and then we have Santee Park, like right in there. And we always go down and hang. And this kid like brought it out, and he told me he'd swiped it, from my mom. It was my mom. She throws herself a birthday party every year. And that was a gift somebody had given her. All of a sudden I hear, Carrie, a line of all of these fucking adults are down at Santee because somebody figured it out.
Right. They knew.
They lined us all up. I didn't know who took it at the time, and yeah, he admitted to it afterwards. But damn, I was exposed to a lot.
Actually, I think a lot of my stuff in high school was Dead Uncle Glenn.
Yep. But I didn't get into hard stuff at all.
He wasn't dead at the time.
Really?
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Yeah. I'm just, well, that's the hard. In fact, most of the hard, really, the experiences with hard stuff was in high school, and afterwards, I really got to be in the mood. Most of the time, I'm just not having it.
Well, I didn't for the longest time. Like, I would drink occasionally, but I didn't do anything, especially smoke anything, because of my mother.
If I smell Jack Daniels, I get dry. I start dry heaving.
I do that with tequila.
Yeah, okay.
Wild turkey.
That's what I was thinking you were saying. What were you calling wild duck?
Cold duck.
Cold duck. I was thinking wild turkey.
Yeah, no. Cold duck. That's a whole. It's like a wine. It's like a cheap wine drink type. Like, yeah, I don't even know what it was, but.
So the guy who just bought a bottle of Jameson's, but when I'm in the mood, it's nothing. It's not a go-to.
What do you think is a hard drug?
A hard drug?
Yeah. Like, what is a hard drug?
A drug.
Because you mentioned smoking, and I was like, I smoke weed every day. I don't think of that as a hard drug.
No, that's not.
That's not a hard drug. You don't mean that. Okay.
No.
I don't think anyone said hard. I said hard liquor.
Hard liquor.
Liquor.
Oh, okay. Maybe
I think I said hard liquor as opposed to beer and wine.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I in my head heard hard drugs.
To me, I get a different. I act differently.
Never mind. Let's go shut up now. I'm gonna go in my corner.
No, but we were talking about weed, but that was the one thing that I was so opposed to it for so long because of my mother, because she openly smoked, and it had a very bad connotation.
Usually with my father.
Exactly. And on the front porch.
Oh my God, I would love to smoke with your dad.
Right?
That happens one day.
That would be something.
I can arrange that.
I'm sure.
I would love to do that sometime. That would be fucking awesome.
I just we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
I
you
just
don't like smoking.
Anything smoking. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just, I mean, if you want to do an edible, I'll just give me like a 3-hour head start.
Right.
And I'll join you. I'll join you. Yeah.
Well, no, it's just because I remember growing up with all of these things and all that. But I was so, and I remember some of my friends, they were like, oh my God, it's so cool. And to me, it was embarrassing because sometimes I'd have friends come over and my mother would ask, you think you can get me some wheat? Can you buy,
that's embarrassing.
And
that's totally embarrassing.
I was like that straight A student and, very quiet and very, embarrassed very easily. So to me, it was always embarrassing. So I think she had, now every day.
Oh no, I'm a stoner. Back then, even as a stoner, I still would have found that embarrassing if my mother had actually asked. If my mom had been, and she had asked my friends, I'd be like, "That's really embarrassing and not cool."
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, she was always very embarrassing. Oh my God. She would find that funny. Yeah. And she loved it when she had an audience. That was the time she did it the most.
All right, so I know here at the Stuart Burdessa Show, we try to have segues. I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I have no
Let's talk about something. What do you want to talk about, Dave?
Totally hard turn here. I have a feeling that I'm bringing this up because I think I believe you'll probably talk me out of this. And I even posted something as a blog post at stuartburdessa.com about how January 1st, Stuart was going to leave Twitter.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, just not giving our buddy Elon, just the space or
Muskie. We don't want to give Muskie any.
Oh, I thought I saw something that Snoop Dogg was taking over.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? No,
well, he was voted.
He was voted to take over. I mean,
well, look, this guy
it'd be adorable.
He's just a.
He probably would do a good job, to be honest with you, because he doesn't give it. He's not trying to please anyone.
He's a spoiled baby guy.
Yeah,
who,
he is.
Every decision he makes, as soon as he gets any kind of feedback, he changes it. And so he did the vote, and he got overwhelmingly voted not to be CEO. And he said, "Okay, as soon as I can find somebody."
Oh, that's when you know he's done.
Right. Well, no, that's why he's lying, and he's not gonna. Anyway, but it's been getting closer, and the thought process is, look, a lot of what we do, both Stuart Badasso, the podcast and the radio station and the website, is to try to change the world a little bit in a way, just be a part of that. And man, as much as I hate adding to the algorithm or whatever, I mean, there are people on Twitter and spreading the word of people who are still on Twitter who are actually cool people. I'm starting.
I'm not judging.
I know. I'm feeling like I might back out of the. Damn it.
Dude, you know what? You have to do, you have to do
I don't have to do anything.
right.
I can
Right.
still
You
get off
do
and
whatever
the
you
world's going to
want.
keep going. I'm not saying it's going to.
No, but I understand what I understand what you're getting at. Like, because I mean, I was on Twitter, but I barely did anything anyway. So me leaving it, it makes no difference.
The show, the podcast,
was never on it. I don't
the Stuart Badasso media empire, so to
we have an empire
with our tens of people. Yes,
Cool.
who we interact with.
Cool.
Yeah, Twitter was one of the places that were the most active.
Then you know what? Then don't. I mean, are you giving him any money? We're not giving him any money.
Not directly, no.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna. I mean, if somebody told me I have some friends who said they're leaving Twitter, and I'm sure some of my friends who are on Twitter aren't leaving, and I'm not judging anybody, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, if I thought that my presence made any kind of difference or made any kind of whatever.
Well, I don't know, because we don't have that many followers, and we don't have that many people like.
I know
retweeting
I
and
was a
stuff,
follower, but I'm not on there anymore.
You're not.
So.
Well, Stuart used to tag you,
I know.
so to speak. That's not a euphemism for anything.
No.
No.
Well, I'm only on Facebook and Instagram so I can talk to my daughter that lives in Spain.
All right. So as of right now,
Otherwise, I'd be off that.
We will stay on Twitter, but I might
Maybe
knee-jerk reaction if he does something even stupider. And
well, he did a great thing about getting Andrew Tate back on there.
yeah, there's a segue.
I had a feeling.
Okay, so if you haven't heard, here's the deal. I know, me too. Actually, I didn't know who he was either until that shit went down. So apparently,
I didn't know. No, I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't either.
Actually, we might. While you're there,
Yep. Same.
please.
Yeah, same. Thank you. Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you. So Greta, I'm going to butcher her name. Thunberg, I think it's how you say it.
Thunberg.
But there's no R.
Greta Thunberg. Thunberg. Thunberg.
Does this have to do with the pizza boxes?
Kinda, yes.
Well, well, I was going to get to, I guess, the pizza
Oh wait,
box
I'll take
part.
that one. Thank you.
Whatever you want to give me, I'll take whatever.
I'll take the
you
IPA because Dave doesn't like those.
I don't like it. Thank you. And so all right, so there was this thing that had become viral where this which Tate was it?
His name is Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, who used to be a kickboxer or something, and then he's like was supposedly, and I'm learning this now because I didn't know who this dude
Yeah, I didn't
was.
know.
So apparently, and then he was like social media guy for all the right wing bros, and he would say all this misogynistic and really shitty stuff, and it would all go viral.
Then he was also
kinda suck.
on Big Brother, Big Brother thing.
I got nothing.
Oh yeah, so anybody who knows reality show things. So Big Brother is one of those reality shows, and there's a Big Brother British one, and he was on that for about 2 seconds, and then a video was released of him beating a woman, I think, with a belt. And so they're like, "Oh, you're not
Like
gonna be on the." Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, okay, never mind. You're not gonna be on the show." So he was like on briefly, or he was gonna be on, or whatever.
So
He's a piece of shit.
yeah, no,
He's like super piece of shit. He's like evil.
So in trying to troll Greta Thunberg, he said something, and I believe it was on Twitter, where he was like,
Yes.
because if you don't know who Greta Thunberg is, she is a young person who out of
Sweden.
Sweden, something.
One of them.
Yeah.
No, it's Sweden. It's Sweden. My people.
Okay, so who environmentalist, world famous environmentalist, and he was like, "Well, I got this car, and I got this car, and I
He
got
has
this car,
33 cars.
33 cars, and I'll give you the whole list. If you give me your email, I'll send you the list." And she trolled him by saying, "Yeah, I would love for you to enlighten me." And I think her email address that she put on there was like smalldickenergy@getalife.com.
Yes.
Oh my God, she did not.
No, yeah.
That is awesome.
Right, and it went totally viral, and this thing
Super
got
viral.
plastered all over the place.
Oh my God, I love
And
it.
it was funny.
And his reaction was how rude.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So
She's 19.
here's the funny
So
thing.
bad.
Here's
So
one of the funny
badass.
things. So here's the one clapback, whatever you want to call it. With the thing that there were literally some people who were a few, and it got to be a clickbait article a little bit, that there were people that were saying that, look, Greta, that was really cute, but you're kind of body shaming
Yes.
people with small dicks.
Yes.
And I get it.
And I have a
It
friend
is,
who posted about that as well.
but technically it is.
It is.
And
No, I mean, I can't even disagree with that.
can't- it
Calling,
is.
but that's like saying you're calling somebody who's stupid. Well, you're shaming people that really are stupid. It doesn't make sense. It's not like you see a small dick. Like, you have to self-disclose that.
well, no, that would be
So how are you shamed unless
It's-
you're telling people?
no, but it's kind of similar to like if somebody
I know what you're saying.
said something
It's just
shitty. If somebody said something shitty and you went, well, why you got to be like a fat blob about it?
I understand that, but you can visually. I don't know. I think it's different.
But it's saying
I think
if
it's
you
a
have
little different.
If you have a small dick, that means that you can't. That automatically.
It just
makes you
means
a
small.
lesser person.
I mean, the way I look at that
No
is
pun
is like
intended.
small dick equals bad.
yes, right.
It's if you have a small dick,
And I
that's a
get
bad
their
thing.
point, but
Yeah.
that's the whole point of. Never mind. I know. I'm learning all kinds of things I didn't know before. We're back. I actually had to redo my way I teach sleepover rules, my multiplication, and division because of the
what?
gender stuff.
Sleepover rules.
Because how I teach, and I actually had an administrator
What
tell
class
me.
do you teach?
Math.
Sleepover.
Positives and negatives. Positives are girls, negatives are boys. The results are what parents say. A girl sleeping over a girl's house is fine. A boy sleeping over a girl's house, no, it's a negative. So if one of the
Oh, I see
other-
what you're doing. Okay, I see what you're doing.
But now
Thank
I
you.
for
just
explaining it.
I
Thank
just
you.
taught
What the
because the kids remember it. And
No, that
I'll
makes
have to do
sense.
it because it's very different from adding and subtracting with negatives,
Right.
right? And sometimes the goofy things are what you remember.
Right.
And I was mentioning it to a student I have now who identifies as queer, and
Mm-hmm.
as I'm saying it, and I remember them looking up at me and going, "Why is it a problem for boy and boy, not a problem for girl and girl?" And I'm like, "Oh my God." That is really insensitive. I can't teach that anymore. But then we got into the conversation of,
Oh, that's beautiful. I like
but
that.
I need to know this because I've done this forever and
Right.
I'm learning so much learning from these kids.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah. So, and, and it's like, but it's those little things that you don't know unless somebody tells you.
Same thing for me with social studies, and I was like, I had to stop teaching what about the good things Hitler did. That was a joke. That was a joke, guys. That was a joke.
No,
That
but
was
we
just
just
jokes.
were talking. I just got into a conversation. We had this with this same child talking about
Shock value.
they came up with saying you need equity to achieve equality, and then I pulled up that where you have the kids on the boxes,
Oh, yeah.
and then it
Yeah,
had
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and then capitalism. So then we got into this whole conversation of capitalism, and
Where you just get rid of the fence.
well, then we had
Really
another
cool.
kid.
This student sounds really cool.
Then we had oh, they're amazing,
Yeah, it's like this sounds like a cool kid.
and
I'm not allowed to work with them.
and that
No.
so we're in a big group and there's a 7th grader and he's like well what's capital? And so they start saying laissez-faire and all of a sudden they go, oh wait a minute, you're only in 7th grade, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So we had to come up with how to explain in basic terms
Yeah.
capitalism in how it aligns with equity and equality and in this cartoon, this political cartoon, I guess. It was hard. It was very hard to put it into simple, because when you say it simply, it makes sense, but it's not simple. And that brought us into communism. Simple idea in a real, but that's not how things are. So then it
Communism sounds good.
right. It's a great thought, but
Well, like most economic theories, it's never been done in its pure form.
But you can't, because you can't control all parts of it. That's the whole point. You can only
Yeah,
you can't.
There's
control
people
it all.
involved.
Well,
And I mean, honestly, no, that's how my mother explained communism to me. I mean, I still remember this as a kid. My mom explaining communism to me saying, it's a great thought. It's
Exactly.
a beautiful idea. She
Exactly.
goes, but people are involved, therefore it will never work.
Yep.
I'm like, that's how it is.
I just did a documentary. Just was reading into and learning. I'm trying to figure out the New Testament, and they talk about Jesus and where he came from. There's a lot what they found these latest scrolls and all of that, and they're showing how it was basically linking politics to religion and how it's become like you can see all how they put all of these things together, and then it went back into how religion was always a part of politics and controlling people, and it's just like. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. You have a book
it's-
already for her.
But it's amazing that because we grow up being told things, and then when you are reading, wait a minute, and I know it's what cognitive dissonance or whatever it's called,
Yep.
but it's freaky because I grew up with if you didn't cross just the right way in Catholic school, and there were just rules to control.
Do you still have the uniform?
I do not. Damn. I gave that up in the divorce. I'm kidding.
Wow. Okay.
Boom, boom.
Wow. No. Does
be
he
her all
still
night,
have the
folks.
uniform? I might have to,
Probably does.
What'd you say?
does he still have the uniform? I might have to call somebody.
Ooh. Hey, let me get him on the phone.
Hey man, uniform's a uniform. You know what I'm saying? I'm just... Another joke. What about the good things Catholic Church has done? Same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, and that's why before I even get to that, to where you're talking about, I'm even in social studies classes, I'm doing brain development.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about things and someone says, like, even if it's middle school, which is 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 12th, 13th, 14th, depending on where you're listening, because we have people listening to the show all over the world.
Really? Oh.
2 or 3. A couple of people from Finland. So we get some Sweden. We get Spain, France, Germany a little bit.
And I'm
God.
pretty sure one of the people in Finland is a friend of mine because he told me that he
We've had
listens to
Brazil,
the show.
Bolivia, occasional Australia.
Oh, my uncle listens to the show. I just found out. So, hi, Uncle Rob.
Where's he living?
He lives actually really close by. He lives like literally right around the corner.
Oh, that's fine too. So,
Yeah, I saw him Christmas and he told me. I was like, oh, thank
that
you.
whole thing, like you're saying about cognitive dissonance, when you learn stuff, when things are drilled into our heads as little kids, communism bad,
Yep.
right? Then without even going into in depth, and then like your mom would say, Melyssa, like, yeah, but there's people involved,
Right.
and like all we know is that Cuba's evil, and we don't know why, and
Yeah.
there's really not that explanation, but that's why we have to keep fucking with them and the embargo and all this shit, even though it's causing. Anyway, sorry. That was
Well, it goes with the gender issue too.
yeah.
The same thing. We were told this.
Bringing in the brain development thing first, where so like when we learn this stuff when our brains are developing, it kind of solidifies it, and the cognitive dissonance happens a lot more as we get older when something we learned as a kid goes totally head to head and goes against it, and our brains, because it's been wired as children as we're developing, it's so hard to get people to adults to open up.
Well, I think this generation coming up is going to be better.
I do too.
actually,
I do
for the
too.
most part, I actually,
And I
agree
think
with
it's
that.
because
I
of
do
the
too.
schools. And I think I just had a situation with Dominic. I'm sorry. I'll explain. Go ahead.
Oh no! And that's speaking. We can put this in terms of cognitive dissonance because the people who run the schools still have that
Yes.
data. That's what we need for our kids, and everything. Yeah. I love when something is evidence driven.
Yep.
Because
Data driven. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, the evidence is more
yes,
scientific.
you do need
because data makes it sound like we're treating our kids like data. But now evidence, that's science. But what I have found out, and I haven't said this to anybody, at least in like a job interview or anything, but when you say something is evidence driven or something we're using evidence to go a certain direction, 9 times out of 10, the evidence proves what we want it to prove. We
Well,
make
because
sure
you don't qualify the evidence. I mean,
Yeah.
you get to choose it. That's what makes it so able to manipulate.
well, the evidence, at least in education, would be
Right.
how well do kids do on a test. And if that's what your goal is, that's the evidence you look for.
And that's only one aspect of the whole
Yes.
thing.
Right.
Well, what we're doing where I am, and one of the things that we're working with in our department is talking about anxiety and stress, and especially after coming out of COVID, what it does to the brain
Yeah.
and how kids can't learn. To nag at a kid, pay attention, but you're causing more trauma than it's just, I think we all need to be re-educated. But one of the things that I like about this generation, when I had this conversation with this young person, and I'm learning so much, Dominic has 2 new friends. One of them is mixed race, but they decided to call him Pablo, and I'm calling him Pablo, and I'm talking to the mom, and I'm like, to Pablo, and she said, "Who? You mean Adrian?" They call him Pablo because they think he looks Mexican, and they think it's funny. So I said something to Dominic, no. So and he's there, and he goes, but he laughs. He thinks it's funny. I said, well, what do you expect him to do? Is he supposed to say call it? And the whole group was in front of me, and I brought it up, and finally, Adrian he goes, yeah, I really don't like it, and he told them. So
well, you know what he should have done? He should have got out his machete,
right? Boom, boom.
I know.
So this same child, so. He's mixed. He's black and white, right? So Dominic, and he also has a young friend. I think he might be Puerto Rican, not sure. And then Dominic, white as can be. But he has the hat, and he wears masks still everywhere he goes. The hoodie, the whole. They went into Walgreens because of his grandfather's funeral. They're making a poster board. So I sent the 3 boys in. I finally go in, and it's like they're over in a corner, and this lady is just staring. And so we go back out to the car, and I ask him what happened. And I guess the lady had said to Adrian, do you have money to buy anything in here? Yeah. So we're out at the car, and I just took one look. I looked at the boys, and I was like, oh. And Dominic, he runs out in the radio, Grandma, no. And I turn around, and finally I said, no, actually, it's not me that needs to go in, Dominic. It's you and I that need to go in. And I said it to all the boys. I'm like, this is on you and me now. Like, we need to be the voices that stand up and say, why would you say that? Why would you? But you're not used to it yet, And I think the kid, I don't know. It's just, but I think we're teaching these. So it opened Dominic's eyes to, oh, wait a minute. I do need to do something.
You
but
can't.
I think this generation of kids, the way they've been put together, I think they are seeing it differently. Like, I don't think anybody could ever tell Dominic that somebody who's part black is a bad person because he's got friends that are, you know what I mean? He's never going to be convinced.
It's never,
that because he's
same with my son.
experienced
Yeah, most of my son's friends are black.
And
he has a couple of white friends, but honestly, most of them are not.
Well, Dominic's in a great district that I thought was not going to be a great district, but I love it because of its diversity.
Yeah, me too.
And that's all I needed.
Well, that's okay. So the district, and we won't mention names on this one.
Nope.
So the district that he's in, because I've had a little bit of time teaching in that district.
Yep.
We'll call it teaching in that district.
Me too. 1 year, and I hated it.
Yeah. And there's with that diversity, there is the same problems you would have in a quote urban place because of the inequity and things like that. So you actually have elements of like some gang violence and things like that. Yeah, without question. And that's more about inequity and just that's what causes gang stuff anyway.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't just, you don't have to be in a city proper.
It's bad in his school.
Yeah.
It is bad right now. And they are a step above, but then again, with the information and everything that they have, I found something in his room, a little vape pen. And so I talked to him about it.
A little talk.
And I basically, here's the thing. I went the wrong way with your father because I was adamant about absolutely nothing. That's what But now I'm realizing you need education because you're going to be offered. And he already admitted, like, I've already been offered, in the boys' bathroom, it smells like weed because of the vape pens and everything.
That was
it's everywhere.
The last school that I was let go from.
Yeah.
Not so much. Funny enough, not so much in the boys' bathroom. The girls' bathroom was like vaping central.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
I remember even where I grew up and like in the country. I remember one time walking by our bathroom and it stunk. It reeked of weed.
One girl,
but with the vape pen
on cannabis vape. They had to call an ambulance.
Oh, that's so sad.
I didn't think you could.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Not die. It wasn't fatal.
She got sick.
No,
okay,
you can get
fatal.
really...
Well, it was still an overdose.
You're right. I'm
but
thinking fatal when you say it,
no,
and it's not always.
It's not. Yeah, but you
No,
can
she got
definitely.
violently ill and
You can overdose on cannabis, and I've done it, so I know it can happen. It sucks.
Yeah,
it was a bad time.
But I don't know what else.
Done it since.
I don't know what else to do for him other than say, I know you're going to try.
That's honestly, I think that's doing the best thing you can.
I need you to know you can call me if you're in trouble. That's the first and foremost. You need to call me when you're in trouble. But you need to know what it does to your body. And it's not that I don't want you smoking weed or drinking. It's just that when you smoke weed and you drink, you're easier to be talked into trying other things.
Yep.
And that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
And that scene, he seemed to like that. I don't know if it'll work, but
Well, and if I can bring it back a little bit, and so in understanding about this quote generation, the kids coming
Yep.
up, and of course it's all about because the people who run media are grumpy old people, right? And so and it's partially clickbait. The thing I'm so done with, and we've had these conversations on the show actually about this generation, the Y and X. And
I don't know them.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know which is which.
But to me, that's more of a divisive thing. And these kids coming up who are like, "Oh my God, they're so much more sensitive and stuff." It's like that's because they fucking see what the hell's going on. They know the problems of capitalism and what's wrong with what's our society, and they just don't want to participate in it.
Who's the biggest voice against the guns in America? Who set up that TikTok thing on Trump for that rally that made him? The kids.
The kids did it.
The kids did that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that was
so awesome.
right, but that's what I mean. They have what we never had. They can connect to each other, and that's the biggest problem these capitalist fucks are up against now is they can connect and they can educate, like they can learn stuff. Yes, there's misinformation, but they're learning that there isn't misinformation.
Yeah, my son, I can honestly say my son is 22. I really truly believe in my 100% that my kid is more educated on the world, even though I've actually traveled the world more than he has, but he is more educated on the world than I was at 22.
I agree. I see some of the things that these kids are learning with what I do now. I get kids from other school districts, so I get all these different teacher stuff. And the things that they're able to teach with the technology, you're literally in a country experiencing some things. Yeah. But these kids, I don't know. I just think they have something. But their brains are also wired differently now, I think, because of technology.
Good and bad.
I don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We'll see.
This is really, this is
like
the
many
generation
things,
growing up on it.
When we were in industrial revolution, like in the early schools were set up to make 9 to 5, sit in a Now that's changed. So things are I think we're going to see our school systems even change. Hopefully. It's about time, right?
The only thing I'm concerned of is, and I want to see the changes. Obviously.
Well, they got to screw it up before it actually gets good.
Well, I'm worried that these grumpy old white men who are still really pulling strings and stuff, they're going to fucking kill us all first. That's what I'm worried about.
I know. That's what we're all afraid of.
It has to happen. It's
No,
sad.
I mean, literally kill us all. I don't mean, that's not like, if it's not nuclear war, it's climate change, something that literally kills us all before.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be awesome if they just killed themselves.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Right.
No.
Just themselves, then leave the rest of us alone. But they're like, take it, like, okay, this is not conspiracy theory. Go, as they say, they actually even conspiracy.
Look it up.
Yeah, even conspiracy people say look it up. Although, okay, let me do this.
Did you research this?
No, wait, the conspiracy theory. I saw it was a meme kind of thing, but it was some clip of some comedian who I don't know, and he was like. He was good where he got the crowd like, yeah, we don't like conspiracy theorists. Well, he goes, all right, so what you're saying is you don't believe in any of them? You think the government's batting 1,000?
Right.
Right? And I was like, oh, that's I never thought of making that point before. Yep. Like,
that is a good point. I never thought of it either until just now.
Like,
that's a really good point.
Like, they're batting 1,000. Everything they have said to you.
It's the lesser of two evils.
Even if you say, like, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. Okay, so the government's totally right. The capitalists are always right.
doing the right thing.
Right. And it's like, that makes you stop for a minute and go, ooh, I might have to go back to 9/11. That to me anyway, which I've never got enough of that. Oh, I mean, some of them are crazy, but
I don't think I'm sure there's some 9/11 conspiracies that I wouldn't agree with.
Right.
But I don't believe that it was exactly
that's exactly. I don't know the details of what went down.
I don't really know, but I don't
not
believe
the way the government.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that is what it says it is.
Yeah. And even though I think the guy's kind of a tool, just watch Michael Moore's movie on it, which
Yeah.
the stuff he put in there, actually, I already knew ahead of time, but just even
makes
that.
some good points, though.
Absolutely. And
Great
he never
points.
comes up with here's how it happened, but look at these
Here's
things.
some details that maybe
Yeah.
you didn't know about
Right.
that happened.
That's a better way to do it, is
Yeah.
let people come up with their own. When you tell them, here's what happened because they did that, it's better to say, well, there's this and there's this. What do you think this is?
Well, that is if you don't know exactly what happened. If you do know what happened, but yeah, some of the things.
Who does know exactly what happened?
I don't know.
The people that
I
did
don't
it.
know.
That's right.
Some guy
Exactly.
named Steve.
It's always some guy named Steve.
I need a good name. I don't have a good name because I know people now with all these generic names. So,
That you actually like. You have an Uncle Steve.
oh damn, I wasn't even thinking.
Oh,
of
I
him.
just came up with a new name for Dominic. You can use that, Rico. We got him a new phone, and it turns out
I don't
the
want
old
to do Rico.
phone
I'm
was
afraid
Rico.
someone will say that.
Oh,
I'm
because
being,
you don't know where he got it from.
ethnic-y kind
It was
of.
just random.
I'm trying to go as white as I can. You know, Steve.
Oh.
Usually Timmy. I go Timmy, but damn, I know a couple of Timmys that are.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't know any Timmys. I know Tims.
Well, same thing. It's the same.
No, I think a Timmy and a Tim is a different person.
Really?
I do.
My ex-husband was Tim. I'd call him. It depended on my mood.
Yeah.
If it was Tim, it was formal. If it was Timmy,
Like,
you were either in trouble or it was fun.
like I'm
or I'm gonna
Dave.
have sex
If
with
my
you.
mother's Matt. What?
No, that was T.
Oh, that was T.
Sorry. Oh, shh.
Is that when he's wearing his
Daughters
uniform?
are not-
Is that what? Yes, because your daughters do not know you've ever had sex.
Your daughters are like,
They
"You never
don't.
had- you only have sex to have us.
Virgin
That was
Carry.
not
The
it.
Virgin
That's not
Carry.
it. No, that's not it.
Is this where the school uniform comes back in?
Right.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh my God! The story is about. Oh my God! The family. We had a lot of jokes.
No last names here. What do you got? Okay, fine.
No. I can't. Because I'm just.
Because you got peoples.
Yeah.
All right, so
I got
I'll-
peeps.
I got a couple. Again, I doubt they're listening to the show. So,
That is a good point.
yeah. So, well, at least, yeah, but you know what? I thought that too, and then I got fired.
Right?
And then you're like, nobody
That's why
listened to
I'm
the
not-
show, and then I got fired.
Yeah.
Look, dude, if you're listening to the show, you're in 8th grade. Get the fuck out, man.
Right?
Oh, I was on the radio yesterday.
You were. I saw it later. I saw it.
Yeah, I was on the radio
How'd
yesterday.
it go?
It went actually really well.
I can't get mad because I've been on the radio too. So it's all like,
No, I know you were
Melissa,
gonna get
what
mad.
are you doing? Then I went, oh, wait a minute. I've been on the radio a million times.
I know,
can't-
but it was cool. Sabra, my friend Sabra has a radio show on Wayo, and it's Graphic Ear, and basically it's what it is that she talks to people, artists in the Rochester community, and it's just talking about whatever you want to talk about. Like, it could be your art, but it could be whatever food you like. I mean, it was all, we went across the board. But of course, Sabra and I are good friends, and we see each other all the time.
Sure.
So it was really more just like hanging out. But I was so nervous about not swearing. Because y'all know I've got a
Right.
fucking, I mean, I
And
have,
whenever the microphone in front of you,
I feel like I got to fucking say shit.
well, because that's what we do. We've been
Right.
doing it for 10 years together.
And
at
I mean,
least.
Sabra likes to swear too, so she gets it. So she understands, like, there's
yeah, but you have a habit of actually being on a
microphone
fucking
and swearing all the time. And I
Yeah.
didn't do it. That was honestly the most nervous part of it, is I was afraid I was going to swear. But I will tell you, I was expecting this informal thing. I've never been on the radio before, so it was a whole new experience for me to be like in a studio and having somebody be like, okay, everybody be quiet for now. We're going to do the thing. And then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, like,
Oh, wow.
like all that stuff. Like, Dave, I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've never done that before. It was actually kind of fun. It was fun.
You're not supposed to actually fart on there either. But here you can.
Here I totally could.
You could.
I mean, if I farted there, yeah, I don't know if they'd even hear it. It'd have to be pretty loud fart.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's unless you
I mean, because it was the same thing. They had them, they had the microphones hanging from the thing where you
Yes.
could like adjust it.
Remember we had those
and
for a
all the
while?
thing. Oh, that's right, we did have
And then
those.
I donated them to the other radio station.
To the other
And then,
place. Well, fuck those people. Not fuck Wayo though, because I mean they're
Oh, okay.
I mean I have a couple of friends that are on there, including Sabra, and I like the guy who was around the same time.
The station I got
Yeah.
going. So,
They're nice. They seem to be nice people. But yeah, so I just wanted to say about it because I did kind of feel like I was cheating in a way. In a weird way, I did feel like I was cheating. I'm like, oh. I mean, Sabra knows I do a podcast, of course. She's been trying to get me on her radio show for several years now, and I'm like, finally, I'm like, okay, well.
Why didn't you before? You should have told me.
You know, I didn't before, and I even talked about it on her show. I said I didn't because I didn't think what I did was important enough or cool enough that anybody would want to hear about what I want to talk about.
Oh.
Which is kind of sad. That's how I felt, and now I kind of still feel in a way, but I really there's still a part of me that feels like, what the fuck you want to talk to me about? Like, I do artsy things, but what, doesn't everybody do artsy things? I guess no. Not everybody does.
We've had this conversation.
A lot of people try and are not capable.
I just didn't think I was good enough to be on her show, basically.
All right, so I don't ask for your permission, but in this case I will. So are you okay?
You know who's gonna be on the show after me, though? The next person is going to be on the next show? Romecelli.
Oh my.
I know. I know. We were talking about how much we love him.
Well, yeah, Rome's been on the show.
Yeah, he's been on our show.
He's been on our show, and he's taking pictures for our show. If you look at some of our pictures, those were Romecelli originals.
Yep.
And
those were really good pictures. He did a really great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
So are you okay? I don't usually ask, but are you okay? Because this is really you. Do you mind if I call the show Melyssa's Cheating Ass?
Yes. Okay. That's hilarious.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay.
That's really funny. Because I totally cheated on us.
You totally.
Nice.
Okay. Stu's hurt. Here,
nice.
Right here. He's hurt here.
It hurt a little bit. He's like, she's on a show? What the fuck is this nonsense?
Oh my God! If that's the case, then I'm the biggest slut you've ever seen.
I know. Well, you're kind of slutty.
Dirty microphone. You know, if I didn't have all these issues up hitting the head, I probably would. But
yeah.
So
I'm not judging.
No judgment.
No judgment. If somebody wants to be slutty as much as you want.
So I had some other stuff but the way we go off on tangents, I don't think we're gonna have any time, and we're about an hour. So we'll be back next week. Go to stuartbordasco.com. If you're not listening to Stuart Bordasco Radio, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. I mean, I jam on that. I jam on that music, just like cooking and doing stuff. And even though it's music, quote for the revolution, I don't put. Look, the really crazy punk rock Dan punk, I don't put on. Dude, like the stuff where that's not for everybody. But there's, and like in the
whatever, okay.
Okay, but we've talked about it. There is still punk on there, but there is
punk on there.
Jazz and hip hop and country, and it really is quote
a country.
Yeah.
Who do you have on there, do you think?
Well, I actually probably the more country I have is old school. There's not
which
that
I
much,
do love.
There's
which
not,
I do like. I mean, I shouldn't say love. I do
much
like a lot
new
of
country
old
that is quote for the revolution.
Right. Johnny Cash is fucking badass.
There's Johnny Cash. There's obviously Dolly. Mm-hmm. I do have some Loretta Lynn.
Rip. I'm
sad
about
shit
that.
like that. But I mean, yeah. Anyway, if you're not listening to Stuart Bordasco Radio, it's 24/7 on the internet. You can go to stuartbordasco.com and listen to it from there. But there's a million other ways you can listen to it, and you should totally be checking that out, as well as just. There is so many things to do. This sounds weird. There's so many things to do with this website. Just you could explore forever, and it's not all porn.
But there's plenty of it if that's what you like.
Plenty. There's not porn on the site. We have links
but there's links to other things.
It's just suggested porn.
Well, yeah, it's not categorized, or it's categorized. So it's not like, what's this link? Oh my God, there's a butthole in my screen. It's not like that. You know, if you want, you can totally get pictures of buttholes from stuartbordasco.com.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
You don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't
bring
want
back that Catholic shit again, aren't you?
See, now, you know what? When you guys were saying that about the swearing, even when I'm out, like I just went out to a bar, turns out a lot of young kids, but because I'm a teacher, I have to be very careful of not swearing. So I come up with my own, like you're not supposed to say Jesus. It's supposed to be, so I say Jesus, Mary and Joseph, or Christ on a cracker, or what the fudge, or I don't know. But I say that when I'm with adults too.
You know what? I don't. Oddly, I'm not religious at all. I mean, I'm barely even. I mean, I'm mostly atheist. I guess I don't know.
Well, I am now, but
I don't like to say goddamn.
I won't.
I say GD.
Because I don't want to offend anybody.
I don't want to offend anybody
That's
either.
why
and
I'm
I just feel like that. I mean, if somebody's really into God, that's really offensive.
But I
and
grew
don't wanna
up
be a
with
jerk.
people saying, "God damn it," or "Jesus Christ, what the fuck," so
Right.
my automatic is and then I switch it to Jesus. Now I
I've
just
been
go to
doing-
Jesus,
yeah.
Mary, and Joseph.
Oh, I do
and,
GD
and my
a lot.
students look at me like I'm insane. I'm like,
It's cute. I think it's cute. I think
All right.
it's sweet.
I dropped the F-bomb once in front of my students, and I swear to God, they all were like, yeah.
I don't think I ever heard a teacher drop an F-bomb when I was in school.
Then I
I
learned that
definitely
it was
an
fun to
F-bomb.
do it purposefully
Did
every
I
once in a
say?
while.
What the hell? I did say something, but it wasn't an F-bomb.
say shit.
No, I don't. Maybe.
Because you do say that sometimes. I mean, you,
Oh, yeah,
you do
yeah.
like, shit.
Well,
So-
I've been pretty good at school. The worst thing, and
Well, yeah, at school you kind of you get into the school like the brain. I mean, I'm at work. It's the same thing. I can't say fuck, shit, damn at work.
Right.
yeah.
I mean, maybe shit, maybe damn, but I
The-
mean, I'm not gonna.
probably.
But when the kids get you going and they get you all riled up, sometimes they slip out. And I had a kid that just like, "Are you fuck freaking?" So they caught me.
All right, so Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Why aren't you listening to
Mary, and
Stuart Perdasso?
Do it.
It's radio. You should go there.
Do that.
and
fucking
learn your
bastards.
and learn your sleepover rules, right?
Yeah. Right.
All those things.
All right, we'll be back next week with Lord knows what. It'll be the new year. We'll still be on Twitter for now, and
Hey, thanks, Carrie, for showing up.
yeah, fuck it,
Thank
fuck
you.
it. See, yeah,
Thank you.
anytime.
Thanks for inviting me.
I think that's about it. I'm gonna go.
All right. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Draft hole.
You bet on all the biggies in sports ball, NFL, NBA, college sports ball, but it wasn't enough. You started to bet on the WNBA even though you've never watched a game in your life. You've even put money down on a prop bet that Juan Soto would adjust his cup over 3 times in a matinee spring training game against the Orioles AA team. It's still not enough. We see you. That's why we at Draft Hole are done playing around. Download the Draft Hole betting app today and bet on all the shit you're used to, but we go where no legal bookmakers are willing to go. Little League. Little League, bitch. Are you ready for it? Here's Amanda Mount, our in-house expert on the Pittsfield, West Virginia Little League.
Billy McGuire didn't finish his math homework for Mr. Kane. He may not be able to play in the big game this Tuesday against Mayer's Hardware. Will there be sprinkles on the Griffith Bait and Tackle Shop soft serve? Put your money down on Draft Hole.
Now that the restraining order has been lifted, Amanda Mount is back hanging out at Little League games, and you get to reap the benefits. Download and join on the Draft Hole app and get daily tips from Amanda. And if you join now, you can get a free wager for the upcoming playoff deciding showdown between Jenny's Gluten-Free Bakery and Lou Stool's Mullet Emporium. You're not into gambling until you've downloaded Draft Hole.
Draft Hole.
Gambling is for people with the guts and courage to bet on little kids. We really don't care if you end up losing your kid's college education fund and giving blowjobs at the bus station to make your next wager. Sure, you could be spending that time and money on doing things that actually make the world a better place. Hell, you could probably save all the elephants for the amount of money you've poured into gambling. But if you ever feel losing every friend you've ever had is important to you, feel free to call the Draft Hole Gambling Hotline at 1-800-238-8447. That's 1-800-BET-THIS. Leave a message at the prompt and Amanda or one of our interns will call you back between Little League and Pee Wee football.